Welcome to another super casual review. Today we'll be talking about Armored Core 1 for the PlayStation 1. Please enjoy. For years there have been video game franchises that I've always been aware of, but never played. Armored Core is one of those franchises. Mechs and robots were never really my thing as a kid. I was into the silly, fluffy JRPGs and action games that Capcom put out. But looking back now, I think I really missed out on a franchise that I would have fell in love with as a child, although I might not have been able to appreciate it back then. Armored Core for the PS1 was released in 1997, which spawned a multitude of sequels. Its robot action gameplay mixed with its customization of its armored cores clearly went down well with people. So I started playing Armored Core right after the release of Armored Core 6. Wanted to play a few of the older titles before jumping into the newest game of the franchise, and what a delight that turned out to be. Now a lot of people will tell you this game is very difficult, and they wouldn't be lying. Along with the controls and the game literally dropping you into a fight before any menus, the learning curve is very steep. Most people will probably struggle with the shoulder buttons being used to move your reticle up and down on the screen. I had some trouble getting used to it. You also have access to a speed boost, which lets you zip around the stages faster than you could normally. This lets you go back and forth, up and down, and sometimes float. Depends on your weight class though. This boost function increases your AC's ability to move greatly. Much more than your standard movement in the game. Oh, and AC stands for Armored Core, of course. They are the machines you pilot in this game. Finally, when everything clicks, it doesn't. You can feel like you've mastered the controls just to be attacked by 3 enemies at once and suddenly you're dead, just like your muscle memory. But when it finally does click, it really clicks. I love the controls in this game. I've always been a fan of obtuse control schemes, forcing me to pay attention to how I play. I find most games today play exactly the same, at least AAA releases. I find myself tuning out physically as I'm not engaged with the game. I really need to think what I'm doing when I'm doing it with my hands while I'm playing games, or otherwise I do just tune out, unfortunately. But Armored Core, although some might say has outright bad controls, tickles my taint perfectly. And before you ask, yes, I am a tank controls apologist. Noticed how I got quiet at the end of that sentence due to the shame by saying that out loud. You must whisper such things on the internet, otherwise people will be upset with you. Nah, we all love tank controls, that shit slaps. But what is Armored Core about? Well, you're a Raven, if you survived the first fight that is. A mercenary for hire in this world ruled by greedy corporations that are always fighting for power. You have no allegiance, only to the highest bidder. The two corporations in question are Murakumo Millennium, that was it, I didn't have it written in the script, and Chrome, two megacorps funding this private war on future Earth. Future Earth being Earth in the future. I didn't write that in the script either. Very silly of me. As the game goes on, you take on missions for both factions along with some rebels and cities here and there, helping them clear out sewers or, doing general city stuff. All to earn money to upgrade your AC and to increase your ranking on the leaderboards. But there really isn't a story for your character going on in this game. You're just part of this well-oiled machine of conflict and destruction. It does have an ending and a few missions that are required, but it's very loose with the missions it offers you. One mission could be you protecting a train with precious cargo, or clearing out sewers of a bug infestation. There's a lot of variety on offer here. But you didn't come here for the story, did you? You're here for that hot robot building action. And thankfully, we got you covered. I'm gonna be honest though, I really struggled to understand which parts were overall better and worse, and how exactly the building works. I did refer to the wiki for most of the information on the parts and their uses. The game really deserves 2 or 3 playthroughs to really understand how the systems really work. It's far too deep for me to understand in one go through. Now in the game's defense, usually it's the case of number go up, that good. But sometimes number go up can make other number go down, or other number not work, or go red, whatever that means. I know what that means, but you know what I mean. A little bit more complex, a little bit more thought into it, more thought than I had capable of doing. Even thinking about it makes my brain go back to mush. Although it really is not that complex. Just a touch too complex for me. So going into this mostly blind, I already owned Armored Core 2 on the PS2, but never really played it. But some of the Armored Core fans might notice, I have this really silly, stupidly overpowered laser cannon, and that is my fault. So months before I even decided to play Armored Core, I watched Vadi Vidya's video on Armored Core, the whole series review he did. I hope I said his name right. I'll put a link to the video down in the description. This was way before I intended to play myself a stream. And of course, in that video, he also finds the stupidly powered, super overpowered laser gun. Its location got burned into my brain and I just couldn't ignore it. So due to this, I feel like my experience with Armored Core 1 was a lot easier due to finding this weapon, where most people on their first playthrough might not have found it. But you can also equip sub-weapons to your AC, along with melee weapons, all which affect the AC's weight class and everything. Again, too complex for me. I stayed with the default missile launcher with the lock-on systems, as this utility helped me a lot with dealing with those enemies around corners, or if I ran out of ammo in my stupidly overpowered laser gun. I should also mention that at the start of each stage you start with a limited ammo pool, and that's one downside to using the stupid cannon. It has like a really bad ammo pool, leading you to have to be smart with how you pick fights and not waste all your ammo on missing shots or on stupid enemies that don't really bother you. That's why I kept the weaker missile launcher equipped for the extra ammo pool and the utility when it came to locking onto enemies and really missing any shots. I tried a few stages with a submachine gun alt weapon instead, but I found I ran out of ammo too fast with that, so we stayed with, what we know. And just look at it. Doesn't it look amazing? That perfect PS1 fuzziness. I've always enjoyed the aesthetics of the games from this generation. PS1, Dreamcast, PS2, Xbox. 2 generations, I know. It just looks so comforting. Nostalgia doesn't even come close to how my feelings of it make any sense. It just, I love it. I can't say much more about the graphics because they are super old and I just really like them. I've also noticed I never even mentioned music in my reviews, although it's one of my favorite aspects when it comes to video games. Video game music is such a huge part of my life and I appreciate it greatly, but it's something I will be covering in more depth in the future for sure. I even paid to go see Final Fantasy music live. That's how much I do really like video game music. Look, you could change the menu wallpaper. It's now penises, because I am a child. Fighting your way through those rankings, which just happens as you complete missions, leads you into conflict with some of the higher ranking AC pilots of the game, resulting in some one-on-one fights against these much faster and much more deadly AC pilots. These are a highlight of the game, and I think I died to each fight until I found the stupid laser. Very difficult and very threatening as their speed and power is unmatched to anything else you've fought so far. So when one of these shows up in a mission, you either run or you kill it real fucking fast. You don't want a prolonged fight against these guys, they will win. It almost took me almost all of my playtime to discover this game also has a map system. No more wandering aimlessly in underground bases getting killed by fucking robot beetles. So nearing the end of the game, the tensions between Chrome and Muracoma are at their peak. One is going to win. Now I suspect that you as a player can influence this somehow, because one of the sides does win at the end of the game. I wonder if choosing one side's missions over the other side's missions will change that ending. For example, if you play the game mostly siding with Chrome or, will that lead to Chrome winning the war? I should really test this in the future to see if that is a result. If you know in the comments, please do let me know. But the final mission is unrelated to both of them. It's set at the Raven's Nest. The base of operations for your mercenary group is under attack, and it's up to you to defend it. Very long, full of lots of enemies, and with this very unforgiving platforming section towards the end of the stage, it is disgusting. And of course, the platforming section is right before the final fight. This is where I have to come clean. So I emulated this game, and that's not what I'm coming clean about. Up until this point, I didn't save scum at all, as I wanted a genuine experience, the same as the players who first played this back in 1997. But this mission broke me. The difficulty couldn't be beat by a stupid laser cannon. So to stop myself losing progress, I was scummy. But, just on the final fight though, not getting there. I wanted to try and kill him. Who's him? Nineball, of course, the highest ranking AC pilot on the list, and possibly an AI, I'm not sure. I don't know enough about Armored Core, and I've skipped over a lot of the story as it gets told to you through like mission briefings and encounters on the battlefield, like the Human Plus project. What's the Human Plus project? I have no fucking idea. Oh, and you see regular emails throughout the game from the Raven's Nest updating you on, political things going on and missions and, warning you that basically you're getting too good, people are gonna want to kill you. Back to Nineball, the man with 9 testicles. I think he's unbeatable. This bastard flies around a vertical arena melting your health away. Unlike the previous missions, which results in you just losing money and failure, this is a full game over. If you didn't save before this mission, which I didn't, you'd be losing a lot of progress. For me, it was about 6 missions worth. The way to actually win this fight is to run straight past him and take out this core, which I assume is controlling him. Him being an AI, I think, again. Don't really know, haven't played the later games yet. It's an extremely tense fight that, at its core, is just a cat and mouse game. When you have no hope of winning, you just gotta run, making it really, really scary. But of course, I could be wrong. I didn't try and kill him for too long. He is a monster, but you might be able to kill him. Please, if you do know in the comments, let me know. And with that, we save the Raven's Nest, ending Armored Core 1. I can't help but feel like I only played half the game, which is probably the case. The game tells you a story through its world building. You never sat down and explained what's going on. Very much a From Software staple. And I really missed out on so much of the customization, choosing to stick with what's safe instead of trying what's new. You can get in debt. I didn't want that. To explain, failing a mission costs you money since starting missions costs money. You can get a minus in your bank account and you don't want that. You even have to pay for ammo. How disgusting is that? In conclusion, this is a fabulous game. Harsh but very rewarding. The learning curve is difficult. You'll get used to it. It's a game that stuck with me through its sheer stubbornness to have you learn its systems. No hand holding here. I had such a good time playing it, and I cannot wait to revisit it after I've played some more of the series. It's too bad it's one of those games that's never got ported to anything, so buying a legitimate copy is extremely expensive, and that goes for the rest of the series too. If you ever get a chance to play Armored Core properly, please give it a go. It really is a fun game. If you played Armored Core 6 and want to go back and play the old games, go for it. I've not played 6 yet, I'm really looking forward to it. But Armored Core 1 will stick with me for a very long time. Thank you so much for watching this review. I put some more time into writing and producing this one, and I'm much happier with how it turned out. I can't believe I'm actually seeing some growth on this channel. It's very exciting. I'm looking forward to making more reviews and getting much better. Thank you all for watching. Please take care. To see you off, here are two Pepsi Max cans clinking together.